Hello all, welcome to the online video tutorials on computer networks. Myself, Akshat Monnapake, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology, Bangalore. The course name is Computer Networks 18EC 71. In this video lecture, we will be discussing about the network models in Module 1. The topics we will be discussing in this video lecture are protocol layering, scenarios under protocol layering, the principles of protocol layering, logical connections, the TCP/IP protocol suite, and the layered architecture. Let us start with protocol layering. In data communication and networking, a protocol defines the rules that both the sender and the receiver and all intermediate devices need to follow to be able to communicate effectively. So when communication is simple, only one simple protocol is needed, right? When the communication is complex, we need to divide the task between different layers, in which case we need a protocol at each layer. So this is defined as protocol layering. To understand protocol layering in a better sense, let us take up some of the scenarios. The first scenario. Now in this scenario, communication is so simple that it can occur in only one layer. So consider Maria and Anne are neighbors with a lot of common ideas. Communication between Maria and Anne takes place on a layer face to face in the same language as shown in the figure. Even in this simple scenario, a set of rules needs to be followed. First, Maria and Anne know that they should greet each other when they meet. Second, they know that they should confine their vocabulary to the level of their friendship. Third, each party know that she should refrain from speaking when the other party is speaking. Fourth, each party knows that the conversation should be a dialogue and not a monologue. Both should have the opportunity to talk about the issue. And fifth, they should exchange some nice words when they leave. We can see that the protocol used by Maria and Anne is different from communication between a student and a professor. Now let us see a second scenario. In second scenario, we assume Anne is offered a higher level position in her company but needs to move to another branch located in a city very far from Maria. The two friends still want to continue their communication and exchange ideas because they have come up with an innovative project to start a new business when they both retire. So they need to continue their conversation using a regular mail through a post office. However, they do not want their ideas to be revealed by other people if the letters are intercepted. So they agree on an encryption and decryption technique. The sender of the letters encrypts it to make it unreadable by the intruder. The receiver of the letter decrypts it to get the original letter. Now communication between Maria and Anne takes place in three layers. We assume that Maria and Anne each have three machines that can perform the tasks at each layer. Let us assume that Maria sends the letter first to Anne. Maria talks to the machine at the third layer as though the machine is Anne and is listening to her. The third layer machine listens to Maria and creates a plain text, that is a letter in English, which is passed to the second layer machine. The second layer machine takes the plain text and encrypts it and creates a cipher text which is passed to the first layer machine. The first layer machine takes the cipher text, puts it in an envelope and adds a sender and receiver address and mails it. At Anne's side, the first layer machine picks up the letter from Anne's mailbox, recognizing the letter from Maria by the sender address. The machine takes out the cipher text from the envelope and delivers it to the second layer machine. The second layer machine decrypts the message, creates a plain text and plain text to the third layer machine. The third layer machine takes this plain text and reads it as though Maria is speaking. Now let us discuss some of the advantages of protocol layering. The first one is protocol layering enables us to divide a complex task into several smaller and simpler tasks. Let us take an example from the previous scenario. We could have used only one machine to do the job of all the three machines. However, if Maria and Anne decided that the encryption and the decryption done by the machine is not enough to protect their secrecy, they would have to change the whole machine. In present scenario, they need to change only the second layer machine. The other two can remain the same. So this is referred to as modularity. The second advantage is it allows us to separate the services from the implementation. A layer needs to be able to receive a set of services from the lower layer and give the services to the upper layer. The example, Maria may decide not to buy the machine for first layer. Now she can do the job herself. As long as Maria can do the tasks provided by the first layer in both the directions, the communication system still works. So the last advantage is when we discuss protocol layering in the internet, communication does not always use only two end systems. There are intermediate systems that need only some layers but not all. If protocol layering is not used, we would have to make each intermediate system as complex as the end systems, which makes the whole system more expensive. Principles of protocol layering. So the first principle dictates that we want bidirectional communication. We need to make each layer so that it is able to perform two opposite tasks, one in each direction. Now for example, the third layer task is to listen in one direction and talk in the other direction. The second layer needs to be able to encrypt and decrypt, and the first layer needs to send and receive the mail. The second principle is that we need to follow in protocol layering is that the two objects under each layer at both sides should be identical. Now for example, the object under layer 3 in both sides should be plain text letter. The object under layer 2 at both sides should be ciphertext letter. And the object under layer 1 at both sides should be a piece of mail. Let us discuss about logical connections. So logical connections between each layer is shown in the figure. This means that we have layer to layer communication. Maria and Anne can think that there is a logical or an imaginary connection at each layer through which they can send the object created from that particular layer. The TCP/IP protocol suite. TCP/IP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. Now it is a protocol suite which is a set of protocols organized at different levels, and it is used presently in the internet. It is a hierarchical protocol made up of interactive modules, each of which provides a specific functionality. The upper level protocols is supported by the services provided by one or more lower level protocols. Now the TCP/IP is a 5-layered module. Let us now discuss about layered architecture. The figure represents the 5-layer model of TCP/IP protocol suite. Layer 1 consists of physical layer, layer 2 is the data link layer, layer 3 is the network layer, layer 4 is the transport layer, and layer 5 is the application layer. To understand how the layers in the TCP/IP protocol suite are involved in communication between two hosts, we assume we want to use the suite in a small internet made up of 3 LANs or links, each with a link layer switch. The links are assumed to be connected by one router as shown in the figure. Now consider computer A communicates with computer B. We have 5 communicating devices in this communication, that is the source host, computer A, the link layer switch in link 1, the router, the link layer switch in link 2, and the destination host, that is computer B. Each device is involved with the set of layers depending on the role of the device in the internet. The two hosts are involved in all 5 layers. The source host needs to create a message in the application layer and send it down through the layers so that it can physically be sent to the destination host. The destination host needs to receive the communication at the physical layer and deliver it through the other layers to the application layer. The router is involved in only 3 layers. There is no transport or application layer in the router as long as the router is used only for routing. Although a router is always involved in one network layer, it is involved in the n combinations of links and physical layer, in which n is the number of links the router is connected to. The reason at each link may use its own data link or physical layer protocol. In the figure, the router is involved in 3 links, but the message sent from source A to destination B is involved in 2 links. Each link may be using different link layer and physical layer protocols. The router needs to receive a packet from a link 1 based on one pair of protocols and deliver it to link 2 based on another set of protocols. The link layer switch is a link. It is involved only in 2 layers, that is the data link and the physical layer. Although each switch in the above figure has 2 different connections, the connections are in the same link which uses only one set of protocols. So unlike a router, a link layer switch is involved only in one data link and one physical layer. So let us discuss the layers in the TCP/IP protocol suite. To understand the duties of each layer, we need to think about the logical connection between the layers. So as the figure shows, the duty of the application, transport and network layers is end to end. The duty of the data link and the physical layer is hop to hop, in which a hop is a host or a router. The domain of duty of the top 3 layers is the internet, and the domain of duty of the lower 2 layers is a link. Another way of thinking of a logical connection is to think about the data unit created from each link or each layer. In the top 3 layers, the data units, that are the packets, should not be changed by any router or the link layer switch. In the bottom 2 layers, the packet created by the host is changed only by the routers, not by the link layer switch. This figure shows the second principle discussed previously for protocol layering. We show the identical objects below each layer related to the device. Although the logical connections at the network layer is between the 2 hosts, identical object exists between 2 hops in this case, because a router may fragment the packet at the network layer and send more packets than received. Link between 2 hops does not change this object. Thank you for watching this video tutorial on communication networks.